Hey guys, it's Yasmin here, back with another YouTube video. I know my hair kind of looks grouchy. It's been a long day, and it's been a long time since I've seen you guys. But I have some exciting news. Some of you guys, if you guys follow my Instagram or you guys follow my TikTok, you guys probably already know. But I am 27 weeks pregnant today. And if you guys saw the description of this video, you already know this is my story time on how I found out I was going to be a mom at 20 or 21 years old. So I guess we'll just get right into it.
Make me go so loco, loco, make me go crazy. We would make a beautiful baby. Knock on wood, is you trying to date me? Is it yes?
Well, disclaimer, there's gonna be a lot of talking about women's cycles, if you know what I mean, that bloody shark time of the month. So if you are really sensitive to that, this is probably not the best video for you. But this is my story and this is how I'm gonna explain it. So I was on birth control. I was on the pill. I was very consistent. I've always been responsible with scheduling and having everything scheduled at an exact time. To this day, that's how I still am. I'm a very scheduled person. I like to do things at certain times. It just helps me like be calm and collective and kind of just have my life in order. So I was on birth control, I was on the pill, and I never really missed a date. I might have been late on the time a couple times, but I never was like exactly late or exactly just didn't take it. Because I had an alarm, so I always made sure I took it when I had my alarm, and I took my birth control whenever I would leave the house. I would take it with me in case I didn't get home in time. So for me, even with being on birth control and not being on birth control, I never had my period come at the exact date every single month. There'd be some months where it would be on the 25th, some months it would be on the 30th, some months it wouldn't come until the next month. So it wasn't really weird for me to have a late period. So I didn't really think anything of it. I was kind of like, oh, well, I might just be late, or I might just not get it this month. You know, I might be lucky and not get it this month. So with that being said, I believe I was 4 weeks late, so almost a whole month. And if you have the Flow app, which if you don't already have the Flow app, I definitely would recommend for my young ladies out there, or even if you're not a young lady, if you get your period, I would recommend that app. So it'll tell you when you're late, like after I think like a week or two that you're like late. So you won't get your period and it won't say that you're late. But once it says you're late, that's like, okay, now it's kind of like weird. So it was 4 weeks that I hadn't gotten my period when I was supposed to. And I was at work and I was just feeling really, really, really nauseous. I didn't know why at the time. I was really tired. I wasn't really wanting to get up for work. And at the time I was working at this place called Suntan City. And the job was not hard. I literally woke up at 8 a.m. every morning. The job was right down the street from my house. So I woke up at 8 a.m., got there at 8:15, would open up and get everything ready for us to open at 8:30. And the job wasn't hard. It was just to make sure that we had towels in line. It was to make sure that the lights weren't on, to make sure that all the spray booths were clean, all the tanning booths were clean. So it wasn't a hard job. But for some reason, I was just so tired. I didn't even want to wake up most days. And I was very nauseous, and I didn't know why. But I thought maybe I was just getting sick. Fast forward, later that day, I decided to go to Dollar Tree to get some essentials. For the house. So like I think I was getting like toilet paper, cleaning supplies, just things that I needed to restock up on at the house. And I just like my eye caught like these beautiful butterflies. I don't know why. I think they reminded me of the ones that like my grandma had really loved. It was a specific butterfly. It was blue. I'll look it up and try to figure out what butterfly it was specifically, like what the name of it is, and I'll insert a picture right here. But it was a specific butterfly and it was just so beautiful, and I was like, oh, that reminds me of my grandma, you know. And there just happened to be 2 Dollar Tree pregnancy tests right next to it. So I look at this guy, I'm like, okay, you're kidding. Like, no, like, there's no way I could be pregnant. Like, I'm on birth control, I'm taking it constantly, I'm on a set schedule. There's just no way. So I decided, for shits and giggles, I was just gonna grab it and, you know, just kind of take it just to secure my mind and kind of like basically calm myself down and, you know, just justify the fact that I couldn't be pregnant. Well, I get home and I have to pee really bad. So I'm like, okay, this is the perfect time. I'm just gonna take this first one and it's gonna say negative, and I'll just save the other one for someone who needs it, or if I need to take it later on, you know. I set it down and I wait about like a minute and I get anxious because I'm like, what if I am? What if I'm not? And I pick it back up. The 2 minutes had, like, I think on the box it says you have to wait like 2 to 2.5 minutes or whatever. I didn't wait the full 2 minutes. I like got anxious and I looked at it and I just saw one line, which can be positive or negative. And when I looked at it, I saw that second line appear and I was like, oh shit. Like, can there be such thing as like a false positive? Like, I was in shock. I honestly didn't think that I was pregnant. So I took the other one. And no, I didn't take the other one right away. I went to my boyfriend and I told him, I was like, hey, like, I'm pregnant. And he's like, no, you're not. Like, come on now. Like, he thought I was joking with him. And I was like, no, like, here's the test. I'm pregnant. And he's like, there's no way. And I was like, you're telling me? Like, I didn't think I was pregnant. And so I was like, I'll take the second one. Like, I thought he didn't really believe me. And so I was like, I'll take the second one. And so I go back, I take the second one. And once again, it says I'm pregnant. And I'm like, oh my gosh. So my head is like telling me, like, I can't be pregnant. Like, there's no way I'm pregnant. So I don't know what to do in that sense of like, I'm 20 years old. Like, I live by myself. I'm financially able to take care of myself. I live with my boyfriend. We are able to financially take care of ourselves as a couple. And so I'm like, we could, like, having a baby wouldn't be a financial issue for us. But it's just, we're so young. So I was like, I don't know what to do. So I called up my boyfriend's sister and I was like, girl, guess what? And she's like, what? And I was like, she's like, you're pregnant. I was like, she's like, oh my gosh, are you? I was like, yeah. I was like, I don't know though, because they're Dollar Tree tests. For some reason, my mind was just wanting to like come up with some reason on why the test would be false. And so I was like, I don't know, they're Dollar Tree tests, so they might be like false positives or whatever, or you never know. She's like, because she has 3 kids, and she's like, all of the pregnancy tests that I taken with my 3 kids were Dollar Tree tests. And I was just like, oh gosh. I was like, okay. So I, at that time, had to make a decision, obviously. And obviously I chose to keep my baby girl, which, if you didn't know already, we're having a baby girl. I'll insert it. Well, if you saw my intro, you saw that clip of our gender reveal. So we're having a baby girl, which is very exciting. She is due October 29th. And we just had to come to the reality that we're going to be parents. And I'm so excited that I made that decision. My story is kind of, to me, it was like a sign from my grandma, like, don't not think that you're pregnant, because you are. And I'm gonna put these tests in front of these butterflies to catch your attention so you can take that test. So to me, I think it was a sign from my grandma to like tell me that I'm pregnant, so that way I could take care of myself and my body. Because at that time, I think I'd never been like a crazy drinker, but I'm not gonna say I didn't have a drink here and there, or I didn't get like those little margaritas that have alcohol in it. So I think it was her way of telling me, like, you gotta stop because you're pregnant and you gotta take care of yourself and that baby. And so that's basically how I found out I was pregnant. at 20 years old. And she's due October 29th, like I said. My birthday's October 20th, so she could come after my birthday, my 21st birthday at that, or she could come on my birthday. She could come on Halloween. She can come before my birthday. Like, there's just so many different times that she could come. This is my first baby, obviously, so I'm kind of nervous about it. But I've also been told that with your first child, you usually come on your exact due date or pretty dang close to your due date. So I'm just kind of hoping she's not a Halloween baby, just because I don't want her to have to share her birthday with a holiday. But if she does, she does. If she doesn't, she doesn't. But yeah, it's basically my story on how I found out I was pregnant at 20 years old. And I might be a mom at 20. I'm a mom at 20, obviously, but she might be here when I turn 21, or she might be here when I'm 20 still. So if you guys are interested in watching and following along this pregnancy/motherhood journey with me, definitely subscribe. And I will see you guys in the next one.
Girl, you make me go so loco, loco, make me go crazy. We would make a beautiful baby. Knock on wood, is you trying to date me? Is it yes, is it no?